A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another fighting fantasy playthrough, backed by popular demand, of course. This time we are doing book one of the Sorcery series, Shamutanti Hills, there you go, by Steve Jackson. Great, we got another fucking Steve Jackson one. Now what's interesting about Sorcery is this is actually book one of 4, and your character progresses through each of them. Also, unlike the others, we have a spell book here. Now, during the game, you can cast these spells. There are quite a lot of them. The thing is, you cannot refer to these spells after you start playing. You have to kind of memorize them. So I've memorized. Hopefully, I won't fuck this one up too much, but, you know, there we go. So, first things first, skill, stamina, luck. Skill, d6 plus 6, 12, all right. Stamina, 2d6 plus 12, 17. And luck, d6 plus 6 is 11. Okay, pretty good. We have 2 lots of provisions. Our equipment is a sword and backpack, and we start with 20 gold. All right. Oh, and my bad decision juice is right here. So let's get straight into this one, shall we? Okay. The Legend of the Crown of Kings. Centuries ago, in the time we now call the Dark Ages, whole regions of the world were undiscovered. There were pockets of civilization, each with their own races and cultures. One such region was Kakhabad, a dark land at the end of the earth. After several warlords had tried, Kakhabad had never been ruled. Although several warlords had tried, Kakhabad had never been ruled. All manner of evil creatures forced from the more civilized lands beyond the Zanzunu peaks had gradually crawled into Kakhabad, which became known as the Vermin Pit at Earth End. Civilization and order had spread throughout the rest of the known world ever since the discovery of the Crown of Kings by Shalana the Reformer of Fempre. With its help, Shalana became emperor of the largest empire in the Eastern world. This magical crown had mysterious powers, bestowing supernormal qualities of leadership and justice on its owner. But Shalana's own ambitions were not of conquest. He wished instead to establish peaceful nation-states aligned to Fempre. Thus, in his wisdom, he passed the fabled crown from ruler to ruler in the neighbouring kingdoms, and with the help of its magical powers, one by one these lands became peaceful and prosperous. The path was set. Each ruler would own the Crown of Kings for a 4-year period in which to establish order within his kingdom and fall in with the growing Fempre alliance. So far, the kingdoms of Ruddlestone, Lenderland, Galantria, and Bryce had taken turns under the rule of the crown. The benefits were immediate, war and strife were virtually unknown. The king of Analand duly received the Crown of Kings amid great ceremony, and from that day onwards the development of Analand was ensured. No one quite knew how the Crown of Kings would have such an enormous uplifting effect on a whole nation. Some said it was divinely inspired. Some that its power was merely in the mind, but one thing was certain, its effects were unquestionable. All was well in Analand until the night of the Black Moon. The king was the first to discover that the crown was missing. Carried off on that starless night by birdmen from Zaman, the crown was on its way to Mampang in the outlaw territories of Kakhabad. News came from the backlands that the crown was being carried to the archmage of Mampang, whose ambitions were to make Kakhabad his kingdom. Although Kakhabad was a dangerous land, it was in itself little threat to the surrounding kingdoms. The lack of rule meant it had no army, and its own internal struggles kept it permanently preoccupied. But with the Crown of Kings to establish rule, Kakhabad could potentially be a deadly enemy to all members of the Fempre alliance. Such was the shame that fell on Analand for the loss of the crown, that all benefits from 2 years under its rule soon disappeared. Law, order, and morale were breaking down. The king was losing the confidence of his subjects. Neighbouring territories were looking suspiciously across their borders. There were even whisperings of invasions. One hope remained. Someone for a military force would never survive the journey, must travel to Mampang and rescue the Crown of Kings. Only on its safe return would the dreadful curse be lifted from Analand. You have volunteered yourself for this quest. Why the fuck would I do that? All right. And your mission is clear. You must cross Kakabad to Mampang Fortress and find the crown. Your adventure awaits. Now, before I start, I do have the blessing of the goddess Libra is looking over me. Let me just find the... Libra, the goddess of justice. So you can call on her once in each adventure. She will restore skill, stamina, and luck to their values, or I can escape, or she can remove curses and diseases. Okay, rules for using magic. By 3-letter words, so it's important you memorize them. Okay, well, here we go. Okay, I will not wish you a safe journey, for the way ahead will not be safe. Well, thank you very much, you fuckwit. You awake at sunrise. After dressing, you breakfast on bread and goat's milk. Okay. And collect your belongings. You know I'm lactose intolerant, right? So basically you've started me out shitting my pants, but okay, whatever. And collect your belongings. Outside, the outpost settlement is stirring. The womenfolk emerge to wash and prepare their meals as the day's guards take over. Eyes follow you as you leave your hut and walk towards the Shamutanti wall. They could have made this easier to fucking pronounce. The wall. The frontier's people are well aware of your mission, and a small crowd of well-wishers follows some distance behind you. Before you stands the Kantapani Gate, guarded constantly by Sightmaster warriors chosen for their powers of telescopic vision. Well, you didn't see the crown being fucking stolen, did you? So there you go, you dickhead. The gate is the final doorway between Analand and Kakabad. Once more, you check your pack. Check my pack. I've got a sword and a backpack and 2 provisions. What do I have to fucking check? Satisfied that your preparations are complete, you nod to the Sightmaster Sergeant. For the last time, he glances at the lookout atop the gate, who signals the all clear. The sergeant orders the bolt to be withdrawn. A doorway opens in front of you, and you get your first view of the Shamutanti foothills, the first stage of your journey. The Sightmaster Sergeant strides over and grasps your hand. I will not wish you a safe journey, for the way will not be safe. Fucking lot of good you are then, aren't you, mate? Kakabad is a treacherous land inhabited by devils. Devils! But you know this already. Take the path ahead to Kantapani, a small settlement of traders, although most are rogues and thieves, which you should reach within the hour. From Kantapani onwards, there are 3 routes through Biratanti to Kar, a city port on the Jabaji River. From Kar, you must cross the backlands, which are unknown. It is said that day and night in the backlands are controlled not by the sun, but by supernatural forces. And bear in mind also that from Kar onwards, your progress will be watched. His warnings do little to inspire confidence in you. Well, of course they fucking don't. Come on. He continues, but I have observed your training, and you are indeed a worthy champion. I wish you luck and success on your quest. My thoughts and the good wishes of the people of Analand will be with you. With Libra on your side, may you live to lift the curse and depression which rack our kingdom. Okay, so just a minute ago, he says, I'm not going to wish you safe travels, and now he's wishing me safe travels. You fucking dickhead. You shake his hand, thank him for his good wishes, and step up to the gate. Resolutely, you pass through the doorway. The faces of the folk watching your departure reveal the hopes that rest with you and the success of your quest. With a wave, you turn and face the hills. The early morning air is crisp, and the rising sun paints the hills in colours of natural beauty which conceal the deviltry ahead. Setting off determinedly, you follow the path. Your quest has begun. Okay, the path winds through fields of wild scrubland. The countryside is deserted, and an eerie silence is broken only by the cawing of an occasional crow. The bird appears to pause in the air to examine you as they pass, and you feel uneasy in their presence. You pass over a small hillock, from the top of which you can see the path continuing downwards into a small settlement of huts at the base of the Shamutanti hills. I fucking hate that name, man. You follow the path, and as you approach the village, noises and movement indicate that it is populated. As the path runs straight through the village, you have little choice but to follow it. The round huts are made of hard-baked bright clay with thatched roofs. As you pass, eyes appear at dark doorways, watching your movements. Suddenly a villager appears from one of the dwellings and stands before you. He's 5 feet tall, with thick-set arms and thighs half-clothed in tattered breeches. His eyes are wild, and his long red hair and beard stand out on his face in a wiry tangle. "Halt, stranger," he commands. "What business have you in Cantapani?" What is your response? Tell him you're a trader, ask for directions, you're hungry, and you need provisions. Well, I'm hungry and I need provisions. 198. Okay, he motions on ahead, telling you will find the village inn shortly on the right. By choosing this option, you will now discover one of the rules of the game which you would otherwise only discover by trial and error. The adventure is divided into days, and each day you will need to eat 1 meal, otherwise you will lose stamina due to undernourishment. Options will be given either to eat provisions from your pack or to buy food at local inns during the day. If you go for a day without food, you will suffer. When night comes, you will be given the option to sleep or continue through the night. Likewise, if you miss a night's sleep, you'll also lose stamina points, as you'll be tired the next day, although taking a night's rest will usually replenish stamina. But you will have to choose times to eat and sleep carefully, as sometimes a seemingly safe place to rest and eat may hold hidden dangers. You walk on ahead as the villager indicated. 257. The inn offers hot meals for sale, and if you wish to stop and eat, the charge will be 1 gold piece. Bread and goat's cheese are also available if you wish to buy food to take with you, and the price of 2 meals worth is 2 gold pieces. Wish to sit down and eat? You know what? I am going to sit down and eat. So I'm at 19 gold. 116. The meal is warm and nourishing. Add 2 stamina points. I can't go over my maximum stamina, so that was a waste of money. Continue on your journey. 131. You continue along the path, leaving the village behind. About half an hour later, you reach the start of a climb into the hills and continue upwards. 5 minutes later, you reach a fork offering you 2 ways onwards. It's just going to be these fucking stairs again. Okay, there's an old man sitting in a fucking tree. You ponder the 2 trails. As you consider the paths onwards, you hear weak cries from a large tree ahead of you. Cautiously, you step up and see an old man sitting on the lowest branch, apparently afraid to jump down to the ground, which, considering his age, is not surprising. He pleads with you to assist, and you help him down. It transpires that he has been travelling from Dumpus and is headed towards the outpost settlement in Analand. His journey had been safe until he was waylaid by Elvins, robbed and left in the tree. In return for your kindness, he relates a rhyme which he feels may help you. See him though he sees you not, the black-eyed creature creeps. A guardian once, but now his lot, the key to freedom keeps. He's not sure exactly what the rhyme signifies, but he knows that the Elvins are particularly keen on finding the key in question. He also presses on you his only possession, a page from a spell book, page number 102. I'm just going to write that down. Page 102. Okay. The spell described is incomplete. You have only part of it. Looking at it, it appears to be some sort of pest repellent spell. He then bids you farewell and heads off to Cantapani. You may now choose your way onwards. Will you choose the highway up into the hills or the low way along the valley? Alternatively, you may investigate a buzzing coming from around the tree. Well, I know I shouldn't. Taking a sip of bad decision juice. Let's investigate the buzzing. As you look up, you can see a beehive around which a swarm of bees are buzzing. You may climb up the tree to investigate. One of the spells from my spell book requires beeswax, so I'm going to go up there and have a look-see. 270. The bees swarm around you, but you are powerless, and you are powerless to defend yourself, as you must use your hands to grip the tree. Throw 1 die. On a 1 to 4, then this is the amount of stamina points you lose as the bee stings you. So I just lost 4 stamina from bee stings. Wait, I'm at 13. Okay, I'm at 13. When you reach the hive, you knock it down to the ground. Cutting open the hive, you may take your wax and with you wax and honey. The honey will provide you with enough nourishment for 1 meal. Okay, wax, honey, 1. Turn to 9. Do I go to the hills or the valley? I'm going to go up to the hills because the book is called the Shamutanti Hills. So let's go to the hills. 157. The path winds upwards into the hills and you enter the wood. The afternoon sun glints through the trees, playing tricks on your eyes. Every so often you catch a glimpse of some strange-shaped animal or other watching you, only to find it is the silhouette of branches and leaves caught at an odd angle. You reach a position where you may rest and eat provisions if you wish. If you wish to continue. I've already eaten today, so I'm just going to keep going. 210. The climb continues for 2 or 3 hours as the path twists this way and that up the hillside. Soon the air gets cold and the sun sets, making it difficult for you to see. However, the moon is full and will be able to light the way as it gets darker. Would you like to continue further marching through the night, or will you stop and make camp? I'm going to make camp. 283. Okay, you settle down to make camp. You may take provisions here, and if you do, you may add 2 stamina points if you have not eaten since leaving Analand, or 1 if you've already eaten on your journey. You may only eat if you have provisions with you. Reference. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There's a chance you may encounter. Remember this reference as you'll return here afterwards and turn to 1, 2, 3. Okay, 283. I'm not going to eat anything because I already had a meal. 1, 2, 3. Roll 1 die to see whether you encounter any night creatures. 4. I encounter a werewolf. You must fight the creature you encounter. The following spells may be used. They don't look familiar to me. I'm just going to fight the werewolf. You know what? Werewolf 8, 9, 7, 5, 3, 1, 0. Okay. All right. I know big makes you grow, but it costs you stamina points. I think wick is a shield. I don't know what law is. Don't know what gum is. I don't know what ran is. So I'm not going to use any spells. Okay. I'm at 12 skill. 22. He's at 8. 14. I'm at 12. 19. He is at 8. Yep. I'm at 12. 18, 19, 20. 18. Not even close. And finally, and just like that, I killed the werewolf. Okay, return to your previous reference, which was 283, I believe. Okay, after your night's sleep, you may add either 2 stamina points if you encounter no night creatures, or 1 if your sleep was disturbed. Well, I'm at 14 now. Set off along the trail, 31. Did you eat at all on the first day? If not, well, I did, 246. As the second day of your journey breaks, you march through the cool morning air of the hills, having now climbed several hundred feet. You reach the brow of a hill and stop in your tracks. To your left is a clearing in which several poles are firmly planted in the ground. Atop these poles are heads, some recently fixed, some semi-decayed. Human heads, goblin heads, and 1 or 2 heads of creatures you do not recognize, all with eyes, sewn-up eyes and mouths. A large X painted on a broad tree is obviously intended as a warning to venture no further. Ahead, the path forks to the right and left. Cannot be sure which path you are warned not to take. Will you continue to the right or to the left? Which winds down the side of the hill. I'm going to go to the left. 40. You follow the path carefully down, trying to avoid breaking branches as you go. If you wish to stop along the way to eat provisions, I will. Turn to 180. You pick a clearing where you may open your backpack and get out your provisions. Your ears are peeled to the sounds around you, and you are startled when a flock of wood gulls flies up into the air. You may, if you wish, pack up your bag and continue, or stay to finish the meal. I'm going to stay to finish my meal. I'm fucking hungry. As you bite into the bread, a sharp pain in your legs makes you swing around. In a tree a short distance away, you can see the black face of a headhunter leering at you as it lowers a blowpipe. You become dizzy and pass out as the poison takes effect. Your head will soon be joining the others on the pole at the last junction. I don't know what to say. There you go. That was the Shamutanti Hills. I might give this another go because I really want to play through all of them, but fucking hell, Steve Jackson. You are a right royal fucking cunt with this one, aren't you, mate? Alright, well, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell. But yeah, I guess I'm just going to go get decapitated now. So, it was nice knowing you all. Stay safe. Have a fantastic rest of your day.